Today is September 27th. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. Brought to you, as always, by Munganess St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri. He is Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. And Rammer, I've been running around all day today trying to find a baseball field for my school team to play on. And as you mentioned, that wouldn't be a problem if I was living out in near the Ozarks.
Yeah, just give me a call. And for you, I would make a field available.
And for anybody else that is looking for a place for their select teams or travel teams to play in the fall or the summer, you guys are doing fall tournaments, right?
Yeah. We got a big event this weekend. Ballparks National. Check us out at ballparksnational.com. We're adding 3 large high school size fields for next year. So doesn't matter what age your child is, what gender. We've got fields and we've got events for you.
Absolutely. Rammer, the Cardinals will play on a ball field tonight that needs some renovations, American Family Field up in Milwaukee. Lots of news as to whether or not they are going to get a new stadium up in Milwaukee or if they are going to be possibly moving to a different city. But that's neither here nor there. Nothing we talked about in the pre-show meeting. Cardinals get the 4-1 victory last night, and now as the countdown is on, the magic number for the Cardinals is 5. 5 games remaining left in the miserable 2023 regular season.
When it gets to 0, we can all relax.
No, then we start worrying about whether or not Arenado is going to demand a trade at the end of the season. I don't know if you saw the article today. Belleville News Democrat Jeff Jones just wrote up a piece about, one of the biggest things this offseason. They need pitching, but they probably need to go out of their way once again to make sure that Nolan Arenado is happy and doesn't, want out here of St. Louis. Do you see that being an issue after the buy-in last year?
Well, I think, I think you could see it being an issue. He wanted to come here to contend, not to be on another last place team. So are you going to be able to, do you think you'll be able to contend? If the Cardinals move him, you know what it tells me? It tells me they're not serious about contending next year.
Yeah, and what's funny is I would agree with that. If you tell me they're moving Arenado, I would not. If they move Goldschmidt in the offseason, I don't think I would look at it that way for 2024. I think
we were talking about Arenado. Each guy's got a little bit different situation.
Yes. But those are still the 2 kind of centerpieces of the team right now as far as star power goes.
But one guy is under contract for a long time. One guy's only got a 1-year deal left on his, and he's 5 years older, 4 years, whatever it is. So it is different to me anyway. And I think that you'd have to show me why moving Goldschmidt makes you better for next year. I can't come up with a scenario where it does. If you're moving Arenado, it tells me you're not serious about contending for next year, so I wouldn't ask you the same questions.
Yeah, Cardinals go tonight, a 6:40 start time up in Milwaukee. Zach Thompson on the mound for the Cardinals. Wade Miley on the mound for the Brewers. No bootlegging lineups are out just yet, but Bootlegging Tavern has that $30 special, a bucket of beer and a bucket of wings, all for $30. And last night, Miles Michaelis on the mound for the Cardinals, finally getting back to the old Miles Michaelis of sorts. Had a very good outing, something that we have not seen out of him for pretty much the entire second half of the season so far.
Yeah, once every 3 months, huh?
The Cardinals did rearrange the rotation a little bit. Part of that had to do with Adam Wainwright throwing his final pitch for the Cardinals, but they did rearrange it to where Michaelis, it does look like, is going to get that start on Sunday for the Cardinals in the final game of the regular season.
Yeah, and it would, I really root for the guy, well, for a couple of reasons. One, he's going to be in the rotation. Is he going to earn the number 3 slot? Will he fall to the number 5 slot? I don't know what's going to happen. Only time's going to tell on that. But he's going to be a part of your starting 5. So, the more he can figure things out, I'm all for.
The playoff picture going into the games on Wednesday night. By the way, I don't know if you saw this stat yesterday. First time since 1993 that the Cardinals, the Yankees, and the Red Sox, none of those three teams are in the postseason. First time since 1993. It has been 30 years since all of those I guess star power organizations, franchises have all missed the postseason at the same time. Mariners get the win over the Astros last night. They are a half game back for that third wild card spot. The Blue Jays now a game and a half up on the Mariners for that last spot. And in the National League, the Cubs, my goodness, Seiya Suzuki with that drop fly ball late in the game to allow the Braves to come back and win. Whew, that might be one for the low light reel for the history of the Chicago Cubs.
If the Cubs don't make it and fall apart these last 5 games, people will go back and look at that. It's sort of like in 1969 when the Cubs were clearly the best team, but they couldn't find a center fielder. Had a showdown with the Mets, and I don't remember if it was Jimmy Qualls or Don Young screwed up a fly ball, and just everything just fell apart for the Chicago Cubs, who should have won the East Division in 1969, but the Miracle Mets came through and got them. And so it could be that.
I was going to say I thought I saw another highlight earlier today too of a Cubs dropped pop up in September. I want to say I thought it was Rod Beck was on the mound for the Cubs, and it was an infielder that dropped a pop up late in the year as they were contending for it. So it's just the misery that goes along with some of the being a Cubs fan for the last 100 years. So it's
get used to it, but probably not.
Well, Rammer, I stalled long enough, but still no. We do. Yes. Hey, I hit refresh, and we have bootlegging lineups for the Cardinals tonight. They will go out. Ooh, I like this, Rammer. You haven't. I mean, I just hit refresh, and it popped up, so I know you haven't seen it. So here is how the Cardinals are lining up against left-handed pitcher Wade Miley. Actually, before I do this, Rammer, I will let you. Do you want to try to guess with the roster they have right now?
There are too many variables, but because you seemed amazed, I think Walker, Edman, and Wynn will be in the top 4.
You got 2 out of the 3 right, Rammer. As we have talked about, as we have talked about time and time again, get used to it. Mason Wynn is going to be your number 9 hitter for all of 2024, as he is today for the St. Louis Cardinals. Tommy Edman leads off. He's playing second base. Jordan Walker batting second in right field. Lucan Baker is at first base. Juan Yepes is DHing Lars Nootbaar in center field. Havon Herrera is behind the plate. Janil Caracudo is at third. Richie Palacios is in left. And Mason Wynn is at shortstop for the Cardinals, batting 9th tonight. So a day off for Paul Goldschmidt this evening for the Cardinals.
Yeah, not a bad lineup. I do think when Mason Wynn is hitting .310 in June, he will move out of the 9 slot.
Okay. If he's hitting .310 in June next year and he's hitting 9th, I too will complain about that. So don't worry. We will have that in common next year on the show.
Good.
No Brewers lineup yet tonight, Rammer, but that game starts again at 6:40 tonight at American Family Field up in Milwaukee. Until then, Rammer, we are brought to you each and every day by our friends at Mungenast St. Louis Acura and also Royal Banks.
Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. Call one of our friendly bankers, 314-212-1500. Royal Banks, where better service means better banking.
He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. Talk to you tomorrow right here on Daily Cards Live.
Mungenast St. Louis Acura has a great selection of new and certified pre-owned Acuras. Get 3.9% financing for up to 36 months on all new Acura models, or get $1,000 in loyalty incentives on the 2023 TLX and RDX, and $750 in loyalty incentives on the 2024 Integra. Get financing as low as 1.99% for up to 36 months on certified pre-owned TLX and MDX models. Munganess St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.